The purpose of the military is kill people and break things.
Huge billboards on Times Square and across the states confront the fact most Americans don't know a third giant tower on 9/11 wasn't even hit by a plane, yet somehow collapsed in free fall. At 5:20 p.m., World Trade 7 suddenly, neatly and symmetrically just folded like a pancake.
This is high school physics.
A building cannot do free fall with 40,000 tons of structural steel in its structural system without it being blown up.
The government version is that office fires made all 84 steel columns break at the same time.
Floor by floor instead of popping out.
It was if they had detonated. If they were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down.
Bob McIlvaine has wanted answers why the post-mortem of his son Bobby found his fatal injuries in the South Tower consistent not with fireballs, but explosives.
Well, my son died from an inside job from someone putting bombs, detonations.
It looks like one of those scenes of an old building being, purposely dynamited and blown up.
I spoke to the chief of safety for the New York City Fire Department. He received word of the possibility of a secondary device, that is another bomb going off. He thinks that there were actually devices that were planted in the building.
I said, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
If you wish to bring anybody who's ever watched a building being demolished on purpose knows that if you're going to do this, you have to get at the under infrastructure of a building and bring it down.
This was clearly the way the structure is collapsing. This was the result of something that was planned. It's not accidental that the first tower just happened to collapse and then the second tower just happened to collapse in exactly the same way. How they accomplished this, we don't know.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories concerning the attacks of September the 11th.
Once Gilder is blamed, the nation will be truly outraged. They'll demand we go to war.
Are you coming down into the pit?
Tyrone, you know how much I love watching you work. But I've got my country's 500th anniversary to plan, my wedding to arrange, my wife to murder, and Gilder to frame for it. I'm swamped.
Death, destruction, terrorism, and weakness.
A catastrophic attack.
Terrorists who are killing us.
They are determined to kill us.
War and destruction.
Every American should be terrified.
An attack on all Americans.
Extremists attack, homicide, murders, guns and bombs, chaos, stabbings, terrorism.
So I'm telling you right now, I can't put your story out there. The media owners will not allow them. The press would not cover just that because it'll put a little doubt in people's minds.
Yeah, who do you blame for all this?
The people of the United States are just as much to blame because they just want to believe that we are good people. We are an exceptional country. But this is what governments do. It's very Machiavellian. Now we have an endless war on terror. I know what these people in Iraq, I know what these people in Syria, I know what these people in Libya, Afghanistan we're going through because they're all losing children. And that's what it's all about. Everybody's losing family members. And it's pure hell.
This was clearly the way the structure is collapsing. This was the result of something that was planned.
You believe that Dick Cheney, George Bush, and the whole administration should be prosecuted for their acts?
Governor Jesse Ventura is with us.
But if that is the case, then we should prosecute. We should have prosecuted Harry Truman. Should have prosecuted Abraham Lincoln. Should have prosecuted Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Are you for that?
They're dead.
And I agree with you that there's been covert activity over time, no doubt, where the government has not told its people every single thing that's gone on. I don't think anyone
they rarely
would be surprised. But when it comes to 9/11, are you so sure?
No. No, but I ask questions, and what perturbs me is that you don't get answers. Nobody wants to talk about it. This event that changed our entire history of our country, why aren't we allowed to discuss it? Why aren't we allowed to ask questions? The moment you do, you get a reaction like he gave me.
I've never been so humiliated in all my life.
Oh, sure you have.
How dare you? How dare you question your government?
So what are your questions?
My questions are simple. I worked in demolition. I'm a former frogman, underwater demolition team. I know how to blow things up. How could the buildings fall at the rate of gravity? Basic physics tells you that can't happen.
When you time it, it's essentially free fall speed. Goodness, how does that happen with all this steel in the way?
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories.
This was the result of something that was planned.
The smartest thing to do is pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it.
When you time it, it's essentially free fall speed.
This was the result of something that was planned.